OpenAI has confirmed that the future of AI search and LLMs belongs to retrieval and reasoning and not memorization.
The framework that I like to think about, this is not something we're about to ship, but like the platonic ideal, is a very tiny model that has superhuman reasoning capabilities.
Essentially, from GPT-5 and onwards, AI engines will no longer primarily focus on encyclopedic memorization of the internet, as was the case with the previous versions of ChatGPT, as the new primary focus is now on retrieving information from the web in real time and reasoning over that data. This single change in the direction of OpenAI, which will surely be followed by the rest of the industry as there is a heavy reliance of this whole segment on ChatGPT, is making SEO more important than ever. Today we are talking about why this is the case and how should you adapt to this change. Hi there, my name is Matt and I'm a co-founder of Omnius, one of Europe's leading B2B SEO agencies, partnering up with some of the best SaaS and fintech companies out there. In the past couple of months, based on our large datasets and the analysis, we noticed that the launch of GPT-5 has made a couple of big changes in AI search that are also influencing SEO industry in general, and here's what happened. Up until now, older versions of LLMs have become smarter by compiling more and more information into its storage. For example, GPT3.5 or GPT4 were in fact massive neural encyclopedias focused on the static memorization of the web, very much alike to what Google has been doing. On the other hand, GPT-5 that was launched in August 2025 has a different focus. OpenAI defines it as a unified system, a fast model for basic queries, a reasoning model for more advanced prompts, and a router that chooses which to use. The core of GPT-5 is not a bigger memory, but a better retrieval and reasoning, which OpenAI's officials have confirmed is actually the future of LLMs that we are heading towards. Here is what they said. In June 2025, Altman stated that the perfect AI is a very tiny model with superhuman reasoning, while Nick Turley, head of ChatGPT at OpenAI, said that the right product is LLMs connected to the ground truth, noting that grounding significantly reduces hallucinations.
These models' ability to understand all the context you want to possibly give them, connect to every tool, every system, whatever, and then go think really hard, like really brilliant reasoning, and come back with an answer and have enough robustness that you can trust them to go off and do some work autonomously, like that, I don't know if I thought that would feel so close, but it feels really close.
Why did ChatGPT change its focus? Industry-wide, training LLMs is increasing in costs exponentially. To be more precise, 2.4 times per year since 2016, according to Stanford. And ChatGPT is no exception. Estimates for earlier OpenAI models put GPT-3 around 5 to 4 million, GPT-4 near 100 million, and GPT-5 is believed to be several times more expensive, most likely exceeding 500 million. I guess now it's obvious why Nvidia stock is growing so stably. Outside of capital inefficiency, another big reason is essentially a shortage of high-quality data, and synthetic data generation couldn't yield good enough results, so in other words, they have hit a data wall. Because of those limitations, OpenAI focused not on building a larger model, but making reasoning more efficient and basing it more on external data from the web.
Using these models as databases is sort of ridiculous. It's a very slow, expensive, very broken database. But the amazing thing is they can reason. And if you think of it as this reasoning engine that we can then throw like all of the possible context of a business or a person's life into, and any tool that they need for that physics simulator or whatever else, that's like quite amazing what people can do. And I think, directionally we're headed there.
So was this a good idea? Based on OpenAI's documentation, it looks like it was. At high reasoning settings, GPT-5 uses 22% fewer output tokens and 45% fewer tool calls than O3 while delivering better more accurate results that are richer in context with reduced rates of hallucinations and deception. Researchers and OpenAI's own evaluations show that GPT-5 performs significantly better when web search is enabled, as this approach allows reasoning models to verify their answers against reliable sources. So without external data, the model has to guess. With retrieval, it can cite authoritative information and deliver more trustworthy results. Based on these positive results, it's obvious why OpenAI has made the decision to switch from focusing on memorization to retrieval and reasoning. But this change, as said earlier, has deeper consequences on the market. The biggest one lays in the fact that essentially ChatGPT is not becoming a competitor to Google, but quite contrary, dependent on it, simply because reasoning needs retrieval in order to work. How does it work? Essentially, Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, works in two steps. First, retrieval. The model turns your prompt into a vector and searches external sources like Google, Bing, Wikipedia, or Reuters for semantically related passages, not just by keywords, but by meaning and context. Second, reasoning. It ranks and filters those results, checks facts across multiple sources, and uses reasoning to combine the most credible evidence into a clear, verified answer. So, in layman's terms, in order to retrieve highly relevant information, LLMs need a source. But not just any type of source. Considering the relevancy and the accuracy of information is a big factor for people using AI and searching for information via this engine. This can't be just any database of information, but the one that already has the mechanism to filter out high quality information for those specific queries that people are searching for. So, how does the launch of GPT-5 actually influences the SEO industry? This chain of dependencies between external sources and the retrieval and reasoning models is actually making SEO more valuable than ever. Simply, when LLMs offload knowledge into external sources, website discoverability becomes the critical factor. Reasoning models can only deliver answers to specific queries if they can find and trust websites. And the question that companies should be asking here is my website crawlable and indexable, structured with clear semantic markup, regularly updated and contextually relevant, linked to verified entities and credible authors? In other words, websites that are not SEO optimized have small chances to be selected and cited by AI search engines. Here, mainly, we're talking about ChatGPT, and these chances will decrease even more through time as we are progressing closer to reasoning first models. This is equivalent to being invisible to millions of potential users. So the most important conclusion that we can make here is that this pivot in how LLMs work is making SEO not optional for companies anymore, but I would say critical, as it provides the informational infrastructure needed to end up in any type of search for information on the web, whether we are talking about traditional search engines such as Google or Bing, or AI search engines including ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and others. We have been hearing quite a lot of speculations that SEO is dead because of AI, that will make it obsolete, but ironically, it looks like it is actually making it more relevant than ever. Lastly, how should we adapt to this change? Firstly, make your website fully crawl accessible so AI crawlers like ChatGPT's retrieval system can actually fetch your pages in real time. Build a strong semantic structure that helps LLMs understand what your content represents. Organize content so retrieval models can locate and reassemble it easily. Strengthen authority signals that reasoning models use for verification. Optimize passages for NLP clarity so models can extract factual, context-rich snippets. Track visibility across both Google and AI search engines, which are becoming increasingly interconnected. One specific software that might be very helpful within this process is AtomicAGI, and I warmly recommend trying it. That's it for today. If you'd like to learn more about how to position organically on both Google and ChatGPT, I warmly recommend visiting our website at omnius.so. We have a lot of publications around both SEO and GEO, which you'll probably find very valuable. Thanks for listening through. Cheers.